Sometimes when you try to do a winged liner on hooded eyes, it looks perfect until you relax your eyes. Suddenly the wing bends, it disappears into the crease, or looks completely distorted. Today I'm going to show you a soft smoky wing that works with your eye shape and not against it. The first thing I want you to do is curl your lashes. If you have downturned eyes or very heavily hooded eyes, spend a little extra time curling the outer lashes because that's what creates that subtle lifting effect at the corners. Next, take a black or a dark brown eyeliner and tightline your upper lash line. Tightlining simply means placing the liner between the lashes rather than drawing a visible line across the lid. This creates the illusion of fuller, thicker lashes without taking up any of your precious lid space. To make the liner last even longer in the tightline, I like to set it with a matching matte eyeshadow. I am using a tiny liner brush. This is Refer number 29, and I gently press the shadow into the base of the lashes before lightly sweeping upwards. Now let's create the wing. Start by looking straight into the mirror with your eyes completely relaxed. This is really important because we want to design the wing for how your eyes actually look, not how they look when you're stretching the skin or raising your eyebrows. With your eyes relaxed, place a small dot where your upper and your lower lash lines meet. Then, using an angled brush with the pointed end facing towards your eyes, gently stretch that dot outwards. Notice that I'm pulling it out, not up. If you angle the wing too high, you're going to run into the crease again, which is exactly what we are trying to avoid and why we are struggling in the first place, right? So go out, not up. Once I have that first line where I want it, I flip my brush so the pointed end is facing outwards and I connect it back into the outer corner of the eye. Now it's time for my favorite part, and that is softening the wing. I like to use a small pencil brush for this. I'm using Nikki's N21 today, and I dip it into a deep shade that's just a little softer than black. Starting at the outer edge of the wing, gently buff the liner to diffuse the edges. As you do this, keep most of the shadow concentrated on the outer third of the eye. Now, if your liner tends to transfer onto your crease throughout the day, here's a little trick that makes a huge difference. Take a small fluffy brush, dip it into a translucent setting powder, and lightly buff it through the crease. This helps absorb excess oil and creates a smoother surface, making it much less likely that the liner will stamp onto the crease as you blink throughout the day. Now, if you accidentally make the wing a little thicker than you wanted, or you just want it to look a little bit sharper, here's my favorite cleanup trick. Take a tiny concealer brush like Nikki's N23, dip it into a small amount of foundation, and use it like an eraser to clean up the edges. It's a really simple way to sharpen the shape without having to start all over again. And here is the finished result. Once you get the hang of it, this technique is surprisingly quick and very easy to do, and I think it looks polished in just about every situation. It's soft enough to wear to like the grocery store, but it's elegant enough to wear to a wedding.